Hello, my name is Charlene DeChico. It is with sincere passion that I am eager to learn about people, culture, true history, and the overall human experience. Join with me as I embark on this journey. This is your Community Spotlight.
I would like to welcome you all to this MHA LifeSource event that we are sponsoring, co-hosting, and in honor of our donors and our recipients, and exactly what that's all about. We'll talk a little bit more about that afterwards, but for right now, Color Guard, present. We honor our veterans for all their sacrifices that they have given in order for us to live the life of freedoms that we have. I would like to ask Keith Bear, a well-known, respected elder in our segment here, to come and give us the opening prayer, as we always do with all our events here with the MHA Nation. With that, we'll have a prayer for Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear.
Thank you. As a storyteller and flute player, as a human being in our tribe, this is how I start my mornings, with a little flute song and prayer. So if I could get all the gentlemen, please stand. Grandfather Creator, we thank you for this day you've given us. A good and holy day. We can gather together in peace and friendship. We want to honor those who have given their lives that others may live. We want to honor those whose family have made that sacrifice so that we may live. As Native people, this has always been our goal, is to treat one another in a good way, to help one another live a good life. Grandfather Creator, we ask you to bless those soldiers who stand under our flag around this world, giving us this peaceful day here at home. Look after their families, Grandfather, ease their hearts. We ask you, Grandfather, to look into each and every one of our hearts and fix our prayer in a good way as we come together to honor, respect, love the people of LifeSource. Those who honor, those who are willing to give that moment, that precious life. And for all of those recipients, we all say thank you to those. And to the Creator for allowing our human beings to use these ways to continue life. Grandfather Creator, we ask you to look in our hearts, fix our prayers in a good way for this beautiful day. I hope, amen.
Keith, we'd like to thank you by gifting you with this star quilt. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our way to gift and honor our prayer from Keith, our respected elder. So thank you once again, Keith. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our MHA Tribal Nation leader, Chairman Mr. Mark Fox.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Monica, for an introduction and getting things rolling. Awesome job, the Jump Group. Thank you for rendering a song today. Of course, our veterans are post doing what they do for each time that we have an event. So they always step forward and do that very well. And of course, my brother Keith in saying a prayer. Thank you very much in doing that as well. Asked to say a few words. Monica said, can you stop by and say a few words? And much to your great surprise, I'm only going to say a few words. And so I do want to say this. Health care and health issues are the number one concern on Fort Berthold, and they have been that way for decades and decades. Addressing the disparities in our health system, the things that we suffer from, the exponential, diseases and things that we have to contend with is very important for us. So, we've been really fortunate. We've been fortunate in having somebody like Dr. Monica, who I know very well. We tease each other a lot, get mad at each other a lot, on council, disagree a lot on many different things, but and gets down to the nitty-gritty of everything. I knew her a long time ago when we were kids, and she lived where she still lives. She lived there a long time ago across from the church, and that's where I would see her. And she'd be playing on the other side of the street, and being kids, we'd figure out one way or another to start saying things and hollering at each other and stuff across the streets and stuff. So I knew her as a young girl, her sisters in particular as well. But Monica is the representative for the Newtown segment and Newtown Little Shell. And how fortunate it is that if health issues are the most important, issue that we have to address, that you have somebody with her experience, she's a renowned physician and a doctor, to be here for you, to be able to lead. And I myself feel very fortunate because we have a council of 7 members. I'm the chairman, and we have 6 district representatives. We often defer or look to Monica to help us with our issues when it comes to health. She's the expert. She has the expertise. And she doesn't just go casually about it. She puts 150% effort into everything relative to healthcare. And it's with that knowledge that we've been able to really make some extreme advances in our healthcare system, our medical campus and things that we're building. Right now, we're groundbreaking like every other month to a health facility on Fort Berthold. The medical campus that we have going on just to our east and north a little bit is going to be even more tremendous with the things that are being built there. I just got off the phone this morning, rushing over here, talk a little bit more about some of the things that we're doing, but Monica's leading the charge on one, which that I'm very happy of, and that's going to be a long-term facility for our elders. Specialized facility, nursing homes are typically called. She's going to push hard, and I'm going to support that effort in building one here, because right now most of our elders, when they need that type of care, have to go off the reservation. So that's an example of some healthcare area that she's pushing very hard on, amidst all the other things that are going up or either been built or we're building. And one of those that I got off the phone on this morning driving over here in relationship to our regenerative clinic, using science and medicine. We are now partnering with a facility out of California, a regenerative clinic that uses stem cells. And we're going to partner with them and begin the construction of a regenerative clinic here for ourselves. The use of science and stem cells. Our partners believe, and I believe with them, I myself go through treatments that they provide. I've received the benefits of it, and I feel very healthy, one of the healthiest I've felt in decades. But what they're going to try to do for us, which the United States has never been able to do, is to help us not only treat diabetes, but to cure diabetes for our people. They believe, and I believe them, that this can happen. We can actually cure diabetes in Indian country. And the MHA Nation is going to be boldly take the step to lead that charge, to be the first clinic of its type to be built in the United States of America. And we're going to move very, very aggressively towards that. so that we can address the diabetes problem on Fort Berthold. So, you know, I want to acknowledge Monica in that regard and everything that she's led in, and not just with health, of course. Everything else that she's applied herself and done an awesome job as well. Before I say one more word with Monica and what we're working on, I do want to acknowledge a fellow chairman. I do that. We work together quite a bit, see each other monthly. There was a time he used to come and do my ice warrior plunge, but I don't know, he kind of got his health thing going on, and he got all healthy. I just seen him on TV, the commercial, a smokeout commercial in North Dakota. I looked up, there he is. There's Jamie on TV. And but if you please stand and give him a round of applause for being here. Mr. Jamie Asher, Chairman of the Turtle Mountain. Again, as I close here, again, not to take up too much time, more than I intended to, I do want to just commend you for this very important issue, this topic, coming together, you know, donating, helping others. You know, that's what, you know, life should be about, this world should be about. How do we figure out how to help others that are in need? And if everybody would have that mentality, just imagine how much better our world would be. But we don't, unfortunately, at this time. So we work hard, those that are like yourselves that are out here, trying to figure out ways to help others. And that's what we're going to do by this very important issue. So as I close, again, I want to acknowledge Monica. Good job. We need more of this. She's been leading the charge. It's a good day. It's a good subject. It's a good effort, a good campaign, and let's get her done. Maz Garaz, Gorste, thank you for letting me say a few words with you today. Thank you.
I think that's the nicest the chairman's ever been with me. I want to thank the chairman for his kind words and add to it that it's truly been an honor of mine to serve the MHA Nation, not only 24 years as a physician, all in Indian country, but as a veteran and now as a councilwoman for the last 8 years. And it's been my honor because, you know, you gotta have a female on the council just to give a different look to things. My focus, and always has been since I was a child here growing up on Fort Berthold, has been healthcare. I firmly believe that the most important thing in all of our lives today is the state of your health, and then your children and family members. And I just wanted to say that I've been able to help set policy and push forward for the MHA Nation, take the lead, as we always have done for the last 200 years, and let others follow in our footsteps. Unfortunately for us as Indian people, the Indian Health Service has taken care of us since 1955. And I'm sorry to say, I did work with them for 8 years, but I'm sorry to say they have not done a very good job. It's been a disappointment when our men average life expectancy is 51 years of age, and women are not much higher. That is the outcome of how well, of the quality that they've cared for us. So we must push forward. And we did in 2008 by 638ing our clinic. And we should have had our hospital by treaty right. We did not. And so the Lord has blessed us with oil revenue. And it's kind of karma, because in 2008, in 1851, the Fort Laramie Treaty established this great nation with 12.6 million acres. And over time, in 1870 and 1880, by executive order of the president, they locked us off 7 million. Just took it away without any meaningful tribal consultation. Just took it. And then North Dakota became a state in 1889. And then 1910, they homesteaded North Dakota, Scandinavians, and gave more land away without meaningful tribal consultation. In 1952, the flood, the Garrison Diversion Dam project, took another portion, over 100,000 acres of prime grade 4 out of 4 soil from the nation. And the federal government acted as if we were participants to it, but it was a done deal before we even got to know about it. And so now we exist today from 12.6 to just probably around 1 million acres left that we reside on. And here's the karma of it. If the non-Indians would have known that they pushed us on the hilly lands of the Badlands and knew that there were billions and billions and billions of dollars of oil underneath us, they would have never done it. So that we are grateful as a nation that we have this natural resource to make and do with it to improve the quality of life. And so I thank my fellow councilmen, and especially our chairman, for sharing the vision of improving health here with what we've been blessed with. And the medical campus vision is coming true. Seeing is believing, and you will see the new diabetes center. You will see the new KDU. And today, it's all linked with what we're doing today. And that means we have an inordinate amount of diabetics, including myself, and people that are on dialysis. They are the most ill of all of our people on the reservation. We've built a new KDU for them. It's not an easy job to staff it, but we do the best that we can with Sanford because we have to partner up with others because we cannot do this alone. So we have to partner up with good experts who have some compassion and care about us. And so those dialysis patients, my mother was on dialysis for 5 years and is the recipient of a transplant from a young Mexican child who drowned in a swimming pool. She had 10 good quality years with that before she passed. I am eternally grateful for the family of giving my mother 10 good years of quality of life to spend with the family. And we have many dialysis patients that need to go through the process of getting on the list as a recipient to find a donor. And this is what LifeSource does. We need to, at the grassroots levels, make sure we have a case manager that will help the dialysis patients accomplish all the things that need to be done for the process of transplant. Check your heart out, check your teeth, check your mind, do a psychiatric evaluation. All these things are very important to be able to get on a donor list and then be a recipient, so that we may help and improve the lives of those that are in need.
A lot of myths hinder people being organ donors. So we're just trying to get rid of some of those myths to hopefully get more people to check the box. One thing I heard is, well, they're going to say they're dead and they're not even dead because they want that organ. It's like, no, that does not happen.
Well, I guess I never really paid attention to it until I needed an organ. For me, it was a gradual thing because I was diagnosed with an illness back in 1993. Because of the rare blood type I did end up into a coma for 7 weeks.
My name is Dr. Monica Mayer, and I'm an enrolled member of the Mandan Hidatsa Arikara Nation. I did 4 years of pre-med, 4 years of medical school, and 4 years of residency, and became a family practice physician and received my doctorate degree in medicine in 1995. I did all of my 24 years of service all in Indian country. So I was the chief medical officer for North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and Nebraska. I've seen a lot of death from failure to be able to get a donor. Diabetics that don't have very strong access to healthcare services eventually end up in dialysis. And without a kidney transplant, it's early death. That's a pretty prevalent situation in Indian country.
All my organs shut down except my heart. That's the only organ that was still working at the time when I got my transplant. But eventually, as I was starting to be able to talk and a couple weeks had passed, my sister started asking me, like, if you knew where your transplant came, would you want to know? And I said no, because I thought if it was a live donor, I'd be okay with it. But then when I found out it was a cadaver, it gave me this feeling of, oh my gosh, there's somebody else's spirit in me. And then to think that, okay, so why did this person have to die and then I'm living? What was that reason for? So I had all these questions. The miraculous part of it was it came from here. He was one of my students. I was his teacher. I had him in school for a couple of years when he was like 7th and 8th grade. And then when he was 16, he was riding a go-kart and he ended up getting hit and he had died. I had a connection with him then and I still have a connection with him now.
Grayson was born 2017, and immediately after his birth, we found out that he had a congenital heart defect. And so the cardiologist told us that he would have to have a procedure done on his heart at the age of 6 months old. Well, the next day, post-op, he went into cardiac arrest. And so his heart quit working, and they did CPR and everything to save, to keep him alive. However, his little heart never repaired itself. So they said that they would put him on the heart transplant list. But when we were getting ready to bring him home, we noticed he wasn't eating. So when they did the testing, they found out that yes, he was in severe heart failure. So it was about a week later that they brought in what's called the Berlin heart. And it's actually an external heart. I remember in church, just praying that we would eventually, we would soon get a heart, although we knew that a child had to lose their life for ours to live. She's on the phone and she's crying and she's like, we got a heart. And I'm like, what? It's so unbelievable because we waited for so long. So the procedure took about 6 hours. They came home on a Friday and met him outside of town and they paraded into town and they had a huge event, just a big homecoming welcome for him. But in September, he kind of got sick. He wasn't feeling good. He really didn't look well. So she brought him into the Indian Health Service, and that's when they found out that he had pneumonia. And so when she got him into the emergency room at IHS, he went into cardiac arrest. So he ended up, passing on. He liked to listen to music. His nurses would sing to him. His dad would play guitar for him, and he liked that too. So just a happy little guy.
He was very happy. No matter what he went through, he was always smiling. Nothing ever kept him down. He went through a lot.
I didn't know how other families felt that were going through this until I went through it. And I thought, I need to really advocate for this because I think the more people we can get to be accepting of organ donation, it will lessen the waiting time. I want to go out and talk about organ donation. I want to go out and share information with our community and with others about how organ donation impacts one's life. They were having a LifeSource conference in October over in the cities. They asked me to come in and do a session on organ donation and share Grayson's story. And in one of the breakout sessions, they had a heat map, and the heat map showed the percentages of organ donors throughout North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota. And when I looked at it, I told Rianne, those are all reservations. I wonder why that is. I wonder how we could improve that, probably because some people don't have a driver's license. There's, quite a few that don't have a driver's license. To get a state ID, we have to travel to Devil's Lake. Devil's Lake is an hour and a half away. So just to even get a state ID, they would have to travel that far, so we had limitations. I wonder if more people would be willing to check the box on a tribal ID because they're more accessible. And so I contacted the chairman and I said, this is what we're kind of thinking of. What do you think about it? He said, I think that's a great idea.
First, you needed a strong voice, right? And the Joan Azure family has been that strong voice here in the Turtle Mountains. When the Joan Azure family came forward and they said, Tribal Council, Tribal Chairman, we need you to slow down and listen for 5 minutes because we're missing something here in the Turtle Mountains. That was organ donation, and that was even just putting something on our tribal identification cards. The Tribal Council voted unanimously to move forward with a Grayson initiative that was set in the meeting. If we were going to do it, we wanted to give purpose behind, showcase a strong little leader that was only here for a little bit, but it was passed unanimously at the table. Resolutions are tribal law. Once I signed, it was put in as tribal law.
The Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa is the first tribe in the United States to add organ donation registration to its tribal identification cards.
And when they decided to put it on our tribal IDs, and it was a part of our sovereignty that says, hey, we can do this. It gives me a good feeling.
I think the Grayson Initiative is the beginning of something good and will be an ongoing good thing that I believe eventually all tribes will adopt.
They always say Native people have, they're generous, they have generosity. And so I tell people, if we're giving, then let's give a part of life. I don't think the Creator is gonna, punish us when we get there, because we left a part of us in His creation. Grayson had become a part of all of us. There was something with him, with that little guy, he touched all our hearts.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
We thank you for watching today and having an open ear and coming in the spirit of being together in community. So everyone is welcome to be here at Bethel at any time. If you wish to talk to me, the easiest way would be to see me in the community, of course, and to be welcome, because everyone is welcome, to our worship on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your spirit in making our community what it is.